Good morning, y'all. We're we're coming to y'all today from our little outdoor kitchen. This little outdoor kitchen is getting built out of everything that we got in our place, and then we got a little wood burning stove about a year and a half ago, and we decided to put it in here. We just started this kitchen. It's probably at the beginning of November, roughly, and then this is where our it was a barn slash tool room shed. That's what it looks like right now. Not a whole lot. Just we've covered up the. We put up some of the walls back. This is all covered up. We're using those just for wind breakage. There's a stove, and it didn't have all the parts. I still got to fix the back part of it. We're gonna put up some walls. We're gonna cover this up, and then we're gonna put up sliding curtains. I don't want to. I don't want to go high walls. It'll be short walls because I still want the views. It's beautiful back there, and then the sunset is right there, right in that area. So it's amazing. It looks beautiful. So this morning we're making some breakfast out here. Thought I'll come out here and show you guys since my boss sent a text message early this morning saying that the shop was closed today because of the roads in Dallas. So he made a call and there it is. So I get a little morning here and free. My mornings free are usually Saturdays and Sundays for the most part, unless I call in or we're on vacation or something. But which is nice. I like it. I work back in Dallas, air conditioning company. So as air conditioning here in Texas is very, very important. But when we get these cold spells come through, we're just as busy, if not more, because it turns into an emergency sometimes. So, but luckily I'm on the new construction side now. I did the service side for about 18 years, and now I'm on the new construction side. And but here it is, guys. So we're making breakfast out here, and at the same time, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about myself, and then hopefully I can get my wife to talk about her. That way, you guys could get to know who we are, and where we come from, and how we ended up here. Maybe the how we ended up here will be a longer video because let's just put it this way: God had a lot to do with it. He put a lot of people in the right place for us to get to where we're at. And he continues doing that, guys, because when we moved down here, we needed that support. Um, and it was a little bit of everything, financial, emotional. So there was a lot of that. And like I said, more than anything, that's a testimony that we'd like to share with you guys. But the timing hasn't really presented itself. Today's a perfect day, in my opinion. You know, so a little bit about myself. I grew up in Dallas. Actually, I was born in Dallas, and then my parents decided to take us back to Mexico from Durango, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, states in Mexico, in central Mexico. That's pretty much where it's at. It's Chihuahua, Durango, Zacatecas. It's a lot of mountains where we're from. And it's just a small little rinky dinky, and I say rinky dinky, guys, because it was a lot of it everywhere. Not a whole lot of brick in the houses. We didn't live in shacks and stuff like that, but it was a lot of country lifestyle, kind of what we're doing here, and I love it. I'm glad that my wife and I got the opportunity to purchase this property, and like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit more. But so this outdoor kitchen, man, I haven't done anything to the floors, and the floors are dirt still. It's dirt, and that's how we were living in Mexico. We had dirt floors, and we had one big old bedroom that had three beds, if I recall. I mean, I was young. I was there from about 4 to about 7 or 8, and then my dad brought us back up here because this was back in 1980. Yeah, guys, the 1900s. Y'all remember them days? Back in 1989 is when my dad decided to come back over here, and at that time we couldn't afford everybody here, so my dad came. He stayed with somebody. So my mom, my my two little brothers, and my sister stayed back in Mexico, and then he sent for us. So he stayed over here with family members. One of my uncles. That's where my dad was staying at. He found a decent job, enough to make okay money, and then he got a car. He got an apartment a couple of months after that, and then he sent for us. Now the problem was that he still couldn't afford to get all of us over here, so he left. He brought my mom and my two younger brothers with him, and he left both of my older sisters and myself in Laredo, but Laredo, Mexico, Laredo. I'm sorry. A good friend of mine, Josh, is always telling me, "Hey, man, you gotta you gotta use a different accent when you're speaking Spanish so that we can understand what you're talking about." Because I don't say tortillas, I say tortillas, and I don't say tamales. I'm sorry, I say tamales, I don't say tamales. It's just that's who we are. When my sisters and I were left in Laredo for a couple of months, it just seemed like forever. And then they called for us, and we came over here. And I remember, I think I was 8 years old at the time, or going to be 8 years old, and I didn't I didn't understand the life here because it was an apartment. I was open to open land. I was up, we had a house, we had animals, we had freedom, as best as I can say that. And then we went into an apartment, and it was hectic. It was rough as a kid. I mean, again, you adapt like everything else, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't what I wanted. Um, but shortly we were enrolled in school, and I actually started going to school when I was a lot young because I have older sisters, and I went to school with my older sister, same grade and everything. So when we started school here, they put me in the same grade with her, which I loved because she was like my best friend. Her and I did everything together, and then about a year into school, they realized that I was a lot younger than the other kids, so they bumped me back down, and I didn't like that too much. And from that point on, I just didn't understand why I couldn't be with my sister, and it was just different for me. So it took a while for me to adjust to school. Now I can speak both English and Spanish without an accent. There's my older sister. It took her a while to get over her accent. Um, it's just time, in my opinion. It happens. You pick up other accents. Like here, my kids are straight country now. They got that Texas twang. I never had the Texas twang until here shortly. I noticed it when I was talking the other day at at the local store. I was talking to somebody, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what happened? But hey, it is what it is, and it's all good, right? So we got that fire going. If if it don't go, I got a leaf blower. We'll get that thing running. So again, and I'm moving around a lot because I'm trying to get away from that smoke as much as I can so that I don't get in trouble because my clothes smell like smoke. Um, so back to Mexico, where we grew. My parents were not gardeners. They have little plants here and there. Now we did have fields of corn, and we had fields of beans, and then there was also an apple orchard. But everything was already big, and I didn't get to help out the way I work now. It wasn't that type of work. I was in that stage where I was too little to work in big areas, and I wasn't big enough to go out and do things by myself. So it was the weird times. However, my dad worked it. He had tractors, and he would work the fields, and me, I was just a little, like, literally, it was from the seat to the wheel, there was a little space there in the tractor, and he made this little thing for me to sit there, and that's where I was. I mean, he would be out there half a day plowing, moving the dirt, whatever it was, planting. I was there with him, and I remember those times vaguely because I was very, very young. But I do remember us going to the apple orchard and picking apples, and I also remember that we had bees in the ground, and I remember my grandpa putting on a makeshift bee suit because he was gonna go get that honey. And then my best memories though was my grandma cooking outside in her wood stove. And I told myself that if I was ever blessed to get a piece of property, I was going to create that that those memories, because we grew up with a pot of beans on the stove, and it was just slow cooking all day long, stewing there. And um, this is where I'm at, and I wish you could see that. My grandma actually passed away a week before my wife and I got married, and my parents weren't able to be there for our wedding. They actually had to go back to Mexico to bury my grandma. Um, so that was kind of a bummer, But like I said, I wish he was around to see what we've done, what we're working towards um, in this new lifestyle. So working on these little memories are always fun because I always get to cook with my mom now when she comes over, and they come out at least one weekend out of the month. Every month, at least one weekend. They try to come as much as they can summertime, and when the weather's better. Um, just winter cold, and my mom's not a big fan. But she loves to cook on this thing, and she she's teaching me a lot, and she's also teaching my kids a lot. So and those are things that we need to carry on and teach on. I think it's important that we carry something from our parents, and our grandparents and our uncles, and things that make you who you are. So I enjoy having them here and having them have the freedom that we used to have, where you get up, you go find your eggs, you go milk your cow. If so, my mom used to make these for me when I was little, but she wouldn't put any chile on them. That's red or chile sauce, because I didn't eat spicy food. I still don't eat spicy food. I like spicy foods. I just don't like it to be hot. Now, I'm not the best cook, guys, but I love to cook. I love to eat, and I like to try different things and new things. And one of my favorite foods is Indian food, and I miss that. Out here where we live at, there's not a whole lot of options when it comes to your city foods. So I miss it. So we have to make do. In our group, we met a couple of amazing people, John and Crystal. If you guys are watching, hey guys. And they grow a garden. There's a couple of videos on those. Check those guys out. We've already posted them. So the garden, the market that they go to, there's a lady that sells Indian spices, and we bought in a couple of I think it was chicken tikka masala, and we've tried it here at the house, and it was pretty good. Obviously, it's not the same as you get from a restaurant because we didn't know what we're doing, but we're learning. I think that being a homesteader or a farmer, you're always having to adapt to work with what you got. Now, one of the advantages that we do have is fresh produce, and that is the goal for us to start that garden. And we want to teach our kids to do the same. So that's one thing about me, that I love to cook. I love to eat. I like to try new things when it comes to food. So we've I'm actually teaching my son little things here and there, how to make tortillas, how to cook. He wants to learn how to smoke brisket and ribs and everything else. I'm not the best at it, but I'm okay. Or every time I made it, it's I try different things, and I haven't gotten the exact science of how I want to do it, but I'm working on it. And every time I think that I make little improvements, and I'm almost there. Next thing is going to be to build our smoker, because I want to build a pit smoker. So learning how to cook on that pit smoker is going to be an adventure in its own. So I know how to use a regular smoker, and by that I mean tend to fire all night long if possible, or however long you need to. Not the electric one, guys. I'm sorry. No disrespect to those guys that use a electric smoker or a pellet smoker, but hey, y'all keep doing y'all's thing. I'm gonna do mine. Let's just leave it at that. Um, Gotta move these things so they don't get too crunchy, and they won't, because I'll put the sauce on them, and then they'll come back to normal, or not normal. Sorry, they'll come back to um, nice and soft. So, guys, what I do here in the homestead and the ranch, well, I go to work every day. Back in the city, I build things. I'm a handyman. I'm the ranch hand. I'm the mechanic. I'm the plumber, electrician, and I load and unload, feed. I drive the tractor a lot. Thank you, wife, for letting me get that tractor, by the way. I'm also the outdoor cook. I love to cook out here. Coffee? Grandma's offering coffee. Hold on. I'm recording a video, Grandma. You don't need coffee? No, ma'am, I don't need coffee. Thank you. All right. You're going to have some company now. All right. She sent the dogs out here. That's the new puppy. We're training her. Well, we're not training her. That guy is. He's a good boy. He tolerates her now. She's not a bad puppy, though. And that's another thing, too, guys. We have Grandma with us. I call her Grandma. She's my mother-in-law. She's our spiritual support. And she's also the cook. So we all have a role in this family, y'all. The kids do their thing. My oldest is not with us. He's from a previous relationship, and he's grown. He's doing his thing, and I hope that one day he decides to move out. Maybe not here. I mean, I would love that, but if not here, then his own little piece of land. So, because this lifestyle is amazing, and I get it. It's not for everybody. Fresh eggs from the farm, guys. Hopefully, I can do this with one hand. All right, got it. That's done. Eggs are next. I just toss them back there. Chickens will find them. Dogs will find them. Somebody will find them. So the eggs are out. The chips are back in the pot. And now we add the salsa. Well, they're not spicy at all, guys. This is like having tamales. Well, You're right. I'm sorry. Some tamales could be spicy. I get it. There we go. Cover them all up. Let them cook in that sauce nice and good. And well, they're already cooked. Sorry. But what's going to happen now, they were nice and crunchy. They're going to get a little soggy. I like them with a little bit of crunch. And that's why I went extra crunch on them. I'm just stirring them up. That salsa was in the refrigerator. And it might not look appealing right now, guys. But I'm telling you, you put those eggs over this amazing sauce and these chips. And you get chilaquiles. If you guys ever go to a restaurant and they have them, ask first if they're spicy, because traditionally or culturally in Mexico, chilaquiles are for the day after a long night where you went out, partied, and it's a wake me up type of food, or wake you up, not me. Oh, there it is. I think it's time to get them off. See, I can't, I wish I had like some type of way to regulate this fire, because better yet, years of experience is going to get me where I need to get to, because I can't seem to get it right. But there it is, guys. I'm going to take them off the fire. I got to put my phone down now because I can't do it. I ain't that strong. I mean, I am, but it's hot. There it is. So that's what they look like. I was trying to get that steam down. And then you put your eggs over it. You put some queso fresco on it. You put some crema or some sour cream on it. There is a difference, by the way. Crema and sour cream, two different things. Although it's still it's a cream sauce. But there it is, guys. Eggs in there. Queso fresco. Maybe some type of green if you have it. Some microgreen or something. And chilaquiles.